Are home prices coming down yet? Are we going into a recession this year? And if we do, home prices will come down, right? Those are a couple of very popular questions, and I'll be covering those topics in this video for our May 2023 housing market update. Hey there, I'm Jeanette Skinner with eXp Realty, helping folks just like you in the high desert communities achieve your home buying dreams by helping you navigate through this very interesting real estate market. But before that, if you wouldn't mind, show me some thumbs up by clicking the like below and subscribe if you like the content and would like to see some more. All right, let's get into it. This past March meeting notes from the Open Market Committee that was just recently released stated that given their assessment of the potential economic effects of the recent banking sector development, failed Silicon Valley Bank, the staff projection at the time of the March meeting included a mild recession starting later this year, with the recovery over the next subsequent 2 years. So, how does this affect our housing market? First off, let's shed a little light on one of the incomplete stories that recently bombarded the airways that caused folks to be concerned. Foreclosures are on the rise. They've gone up by 22% and people are losing their homes. Well, that was just a little snippet of the full information. Yes, foreclosures did go up, and that's simply because in 2020, there was a moratorium on all foreclosures nationwide during the COVID crisis, and they used that as a bridge to help people not lose their homes because they couldn't go to work. As we came out of that moratorium, lenders first approached the homeowners with the forbearance, and if that didn't help, then foreclosure. So yes, foreclosures have been slowly rising over the last year and a half or so since they lifted the moratorium, just as the report said. So it's factually correct. Incomplete, but correct. Not only that, if you look at this graph, you can see that we have way less filings before and during what we saw in the financial collapse of 2008. So more than likely, we won't see anything like that in this market. And here's why. Today, 67.6% of Americans either own their home outright or they own more than 50% of equity in their homes, meaning they are far less likely to walk away from their home and allow it to go into foreclosure and lose all of that equity that they've gained. It's better to put it up on the market, sell it, and cash in on all of that equity that they've gained. I mean, wouldn't you do that? The next thing to consider is that in the last 6 recessions, only twice have we seen home prices go down. Once in the early 90s, where there was just a little bit of a marginal drop, and then the big one that everybody remembers in 2008, when there was such a huge drop in value. I'm sure you've heard the saying before from back then, all you had to do was fog a mirror and you got a loan. But since then, we have passed laws for stricter lending requirements, creating much stronger loans so that they are less likely to foreclose. So today's market, way different than 2008's market. Now, in the other 4 recessions, home values actually rose during the recession. What helped push that was during the same exact time the interest rates did come down, enticing more buyers to enter into the market, creating a competitive market, causing prices to rise. The other factor that we just can't skip out on, and many people are talking about, is inventory levels. I know you've heard this, inventory is low. We just don't have enough homes to house everybody. That headline, very true. We all understand the basis of supply and demand. When the supply is low and the demand is up, shoppers are willing to pay more for an item, as we've seen over the past couple of years. When we've had more buyers than there were homes, prices jumped up. Our inventory is just under 600 active homes, which is the lowest that we've seen in over a year. Now, in the month of May, we had 418 homes sold with an average price of $424,000 and an average days on market of 48 days before it went under contract. We also currently have 317 in pending status. If there was no more listings added, we would be sold out in about 7 weeks. So we are definitely in a seller's market. Now, if you take a look at this spreadsheet, you can see that our inventory has been shrinking. Our days on market have been going down, and prices have been slowly creeping up since the first of the year. This doesn't mean that we're in a crazy 2021 market where we can demand whatever price that we want, but it does show things are heating up, buyers are coming back. Take a look at this chart. It was still a crazy flying off of the shelf market in the first quarter of 2022. As soon as they started to increase the interest rates in April, you can see that the market began to shift as our inventory started to increase and our sales started to decrease, eventually flipping the chart. That's when prices were going down. Since the beginning of the year, buyers have been coming back into the market, and in March, you can see that the chart is starting to flip. And I'm sure that once the data is updated for May, and based off of what I've seen happening in the market, we'll see that chart flipping. If inventory stays low and the demand keeps growing, prices will continue to creep up. Experts have even said that they believe we should end the year with higher home values than we did last year. So if you're thinking of waiting on the sidelines, waiting for the market to crash, don't do it. And if you're waiting for that 2 or 3 or even 4% rate to come back because we're going into a recession, in my opinion, those were a once in a lifetime opportunity. But if they do come back, all you got to do is refinance. If you continue to sit on the sidelines waiting for those very cheap rates and or waiting for the prices to drop or a potential foreclosure wave, you could be wasting valuable time and losing the potential equity that you would have gained. Also, don't forget that when and if the interest rates do go down, more buyers start coming into the market, heating it up and creating more competition, and that drives up pricings, as we're already starting to see. So buyers, if you can do it, try not to sit on the sidelines for too long. And what does this mean for all of you sellers? We are still in the seller's market with prices slightly increasing, and on those remodeled or great conditioned homes, well, they're selling pretty fast, and sometimes with multiple offers. So if you've been thinking about buying or selling, let's connect and see if this is the right time for you.